Hi, this is Rob of Pierce Point. This is the first episode in a series talking about how to promote music. I'm more or less starting from scratch. I've been playing for a long time. I've been playing under the name Pierce Point a long time. Not a lot of live performance, no big fan base, no big social media fan base. At an age where not a lot of my friends are big rockers and big into music, really then starting from ground zero. So this series of videos will be kind of a journey through my process, and I will be figuring this out as I go along. I sure don't have it figured out now. And so we will both get to experience me learning as I go, finding out what works, what doesn't work. And my hope is that if you're in my shoes and watching this a year from now or 2 years from now, that you'll be able to see kind of the progression of things as they went along. What worked for me again, what didn't work, and get some ideas on your own and some encouragement, and that it just be a good experience. Beyond that too, I've got it for me so that I can look back 5-10 years from now and go, oh wow, yeah, I remember that now. And I will have completely forgotten it by then if I don't make nice, cool videos of it like this. If these videos are helpful to you, I would request that you follow me on YouTube, that you would also consider taking a look at my website at piercepoint.com and see what I've got going on. Maybe by the time you watch it, I'll have a lot more releases. I'm recording this right after my first release, Charged Atmosphere is the name of the EP. It's 6 songs. So talking about music blogs, I had read something like the Indie Handbook or Indie Music Handbook, something to that effect, and it talked about getting on music blogs. So I did what I thought it would be easy. I did what made sense. I went out, did some Google searches for things like best indie music blogs, best rock music blogs, top 100 rock music blogs, filtered through some of those, found out ones that seemed to be good fits for me. I'm not punk, so if it's punk, then that's not going to be a good fit. But I filtered that list down and had about a dozen different blogs. I digitally distribute through Ditto Music, and that's how I get my music out to Spotify and Amazon and iTunes and Deezer and Apple Music and so forth. They also had some different places that would do press for musicians. And it's actually one of those was the ones that I hit, I don't know that I say I hit gold on, but at least I hit something. The rest of them, there were about a dozen. I sent out a link to my song. I sent out a link to my electronic press kit, had a nice cover letter explaining that this was my first EP. I was excited about it, so on and so forth. Would love them to give a review of the whole EP, but particularly of this song, Who I Want to Be, which I thought was the best song on there. And I got absolutely nothing. It was discouraging. One of the things that was particularly discouraging is there's a magazine that I was really excited about. It's a magazine called HM Magazine. Way back in the day. I'm talking back in the 80s. Yeah, I was around back then. But back in the 80s, there was this magazine called, I think it was called Heaven's Metal or something like that. Well, metal got passé in the 90s, so they changed their name to HM, which meant heavy music or hard music. HM Magazine. I was really excited about sending my music to them, and I'll tell you why. I was a huge fan of the magazine. Here's one of the copies that I still have in my collection. So I was really stoked to send my stuff to them and that maybe I would get in their magazine. But of course, like the rest, no mention in their magazine and no even nice email response saying, sorry, we can't include you. What I did get though, again, what I said through Ditto Music, they did have a list and I hit something, you could say. I found one particular blog, A&R Factory is what it's called, A&R Factory, A-N-R Factory, and that's kind of like a takeoff of A&R, A&R, which has to do with people finding new music. But A&R Factory, the link to this blog post is in the description, so you can go find it. But for $35, I think it was something like 20 pounds or 20 euros, but the credit card company did the math and converted it. It ended up being $35. They would do a review of my one song, Who I Want to Be. Well, since I had nothing, I went ahead and paid the $35 to get a review, and it was a nice review. Of course, I didn't agree with it all, but I'm sure that's just the way it's always going to be. But it was a nice review, and I imagine that's their business model, that they get people like me, brand new musicians who otherwise would have no press at all, and write something nice that they find about their music, make up something if they have to, whatever. And of course, I took their article and I took the couple of sentences that I really liked that I thought were fitting and stuck it in my electronic press kit. So yeah, that's kind of the way the business went. Maybe there's a better way. If you know a better way, feel free to mention it in the comments on this video. But that's what I did. I had some people that take a look at it. I was able to post it in Instagram and Facebook on my Pierce Point account there, and it was nice for my fan base, which consisted of about a dozen friends and family, to have something that they could go out and look at and read about my music. So it was worth the $35, and I'm glad I did it. There are a couple others I'm thinking about going along the same route that I've come along since then, where you do have to pay a little bit, but it's a pretty nominal fee. It's under $50, and they will do some sort of review either of a song or maybe even the whole EP. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about it, and we'll just have to see how it goes. At some point, I will circle back in a later video and tell you how it went. Well, thanks again for listening. Like I said earlier, if this video is valuable to you, follow me on YouTube. Feel free also like the video, make comments. Doing a number of different series of videos on this. If you haven't checked them out, it'd be good to. One upcoming is going to be on how I write a song. It's going to go through the process of me doing kind of rough recordings of a song, just to get good enough recordings just to get the song in place. Certainly not good enough to release. And then another one yet on how I practice guitar and how I've learned to do soloing, improvisation, those kinds of things. Again, hope you enjoyed it. Take care.